Okay. So in the coding phase, there is planning and coding in the continuous development phase, building and testing in the continuous testing phase. So planning, we are using Jira, Confluence, coding, multiple IDs depending upon the programming language, and then the version control system, Git, we have discussed yesterday, and others are there also. Those are the part of continuous development, and these are the tools you can see over here: Jira, Confluence, Git, Tortoise, VM. So we will be studying Git going forward. So in same way, continuous testing, we are doing the building means we are writing, not we are writing, testers are writing some automation script and they are working on, they will be working on that part, and they are working as a part of DevOps also on the same thing now also. So in testing, we will be using some tools to test and some tools to generate report. Here we have given Selenium TestNG for the reference. It's not like only Selenium and TestNG is there, but testing means, or automation testing means, we need some tools to do the testing and some tools to generate the report out of testing. So this is, we can, how we can summarize what we discussed yesterday. We have two things from the development side: continuous development, continuous testing. So continuous development is going through planning, coding, then the testing is going through the building and testing. Building means writing the script, and testing means through the automation tool, through some tools we will be doing that test what we have written, and from tools where we can generate the report. So that's all about what we have discussed yesterday. So what we left actually, now we left with continuous integration. Today we will be discussing on continuous integration and continuous deployment. Then we will move towards the continuous monitoring later. So continuous integration, deployment, those are important part. Integration, let's see what is continuous integration. So this term itself is saying that we're integrating. What we are integrating? So before this continuous integration phase, what is there? There is continuous deployment, continuous development, and continuous testing. So those phases are going to be integrated with the next phase. What is next phase? Continuous deployment and continuous monitoring. So those all are getting integrated. So this continuous integration is really the heart of DevOps. This where the DevOps comes to operation, means you all the things are getting connected with each other. One input is going another out, another's one out, one process output is going as a input to the another process. In same way, it's a cyclic order. That image we have seen from day one, from demo to till now, that cyclic image is there. So if that is possible due to this integration tool, this is the point where it's getting merged with each other. So obviously it's a major role. Why it's integrating CI tools with the configuration management tool for deployment. We have some release. So suppose continuous development is going on, and the same time testing is going on, and testing has said that this, for first sprint or first release, this test is passed and it's okay to deploy it. So what configuration management tool will do? Sorry, configuration, this continuous integration tool will do. Continuous integration tool will take that release, that deployable package which is coming out of test phase, and it will deliver the same thing to the configuration management tool or to the continuous deployment area. So that will be deployed, means at the end you can see somewhere it's being used. Either it might be some UAT environment or dev or production environment server. Then you can see it in a UI, means in browser you can open and see it's okay. Yeah, you are able to see now all those things. So that is development people are so seeing, but that is different. But in some server you will deploy, and where all multiple people can see those things, or they can use that service. So in that way, so continuous integration tool will take that release from the continuous testing phase, and then it will give it to the continuous deployment phase. And it is this is, in a layman term we can say, that one means it's taking the same input, what is the output of the continuous testing phase, and giving it as an input to the configuration management tool or continuous deployment area. So that, like, so you got any point or you have any doubt, like what continuous integration do the task? Anything? Prithvi, can you hear me? Any doubt what the continuous integration is doing? No idea. Okay. So let's go. Why this continuous integration, CI, wherever we are using this continuous term, continuous development, continuous deployment, we will be using this term. Like continuous integration means CI. Most popularly, we are using this tool, this term, CI term. This is we are doing continuous integration. So you are doing development, and your developers are doing development that is being continuously integrating with your continuous deployment tool. Continuous means it's not a second basis or minute basis, it's being continuously deployed, or what is being scheduled by us, means by the DevOps engineers. It's being scheduled that it should deliver in 1 hour or in a day or in a 2 day. We should take that release, take that code from the dev team or the test team, and need to deploy it somewhere so that we can use it. So that's a part of CI tool. And why this is so important, why I told like CI tool is the heart of DevOps thing, so like that I noted all these things. So who hold the complete DevOps structure. Obviously, I told same thing, and we have seen that image. There is a integration part is there, and it's in between the continuous development, continuous monitoring, continuous integration. It's in between. So this which holds the complete architecture, complete DevOps structure. It holds the DevOps structure, continuous integration part. So it's a CI tool which orchestrates the automation of tools failing under DevOps lifecycle phase. So orchestrates the automation of tools failing under DevOps lifecycle means what? Orchestrates means it actually make other tools to run in such a fashion that they will be running in a cyclic way. So that's why CI or continuous integration is so important. It is in between of all these. It's the middle phase. It's between your operation and it's between your operation and development. So that's where it's integrating and it's monitoring. It's getting started or triggering all the DevOps cycle. Means dev cycle. It is not starting like coding. It's not starting. Once coding has been started and that code has been pushed to the version control system like Git, so from there only the Jenkins job has started. Even the Jenkins will push to the testing, Jenkins will take the code, give it to the deployment. So it's like that only. So that's the phase where continuous integration starts and continuous integration works. So till this point, anything in your mind or any doubt why we need the continuous integration and what's the part of this continuous integration, why it is so important for DevOps? Anything? Prithvi, can you hear me? Okay, let him join.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, hello. I can
Can
hear
you
now.
hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, no doubts so far, Piyush.
Okay. So let's go ahead. So what tools we can see in this continuous integration phase? Jenkins, Bamboo, TeamCity, multiple tools are there which holds this continuous integration part in the DevOps lifecycle. So mostly the well-known and popular tool is Jenkins, and we will be knowing Jenkins also. Obviously, while we'll be going in depth in next sessions, technical installations and managing the tool, so we'll be using Jenkins. But obviously, Bamboo, TeamCity, they are also there. So if you're learning Jenkins, you can also work on Bamboo and TeamCity. Might be some terminology is different and the UI will be different, but the way of working will be same. So what we will be seeing in Jenkins, the same way of things we can do in all those tools, but might be you can see multiple UIs. Obviously, we will see those UI how it look like in Bamboo and TeamCity also, but we will be learning Jenkins because it's most popular and widely used tool in multiple companies. And if you are going for any interview or anything, any DevOps career, they will ask you Jenkins. And previously, they may ask you one other question. Hudson is there. Hudson, Hudson is nothing but Jenkins. So Hudson is completely stopped now. We are using Jenkins. Jenkins and Hudson, Jenkins is an inheritorial thing from the Hudson company, but now Jenkins is going on. Hudson is not working anymore. Whoever are working on Hudson, there is no support for Hudson. It's completely closed. So Jenkins is there. That's the most popular tool, and we'll be learning that one. Let's go ahead. Nothing to discuss much here. So why it's so important? Why I told why this page is so important? Continuous development, any tool, whatever. It might be your continuous development, testing tool, or deployment tool, even continuous monitoring tools. Integration tool can be integrated with all of them. Not can be, it has to integrate with all of them to make it work in a cyclic fashion. So continuous development tool, so with whom it's integrated? It's integrated with Git. It's integrated with Maven. That's Maven means it's a building tool for Java projects. So that's a programming related or dev related thing only. So it is integrated with Maven, integrated with Git. Then it is integrated with your automation thing like Selenium. Then other scripts are there, JUnits, everything. So then it's combined with testing. That's where it comes with continuous testing. Once they are combined and getting the details, getting the deliverable package out of them, then where it is delivering, it is giving to the deployment area, continuous deployment area. So it has to be integrated with all the environment. That's why this is so important. And mostly we have to know all the parts deeply, but this part we need to know very well so that we can do that integration with multiple areas. And we have to know what plugins are there, how we are doing that configuration, and which plugins we have to install for integrating which type of tools. So it's there. When we will learn in depth of Jenkins, we will learn that part. It's the overall thing of what is Jenkins and why it's important for continuous integration thing. Why continuous integration is important, and we are going to use Jenkins in future. You may have to use Bamboo Teams depending upon your company's policy or business requirement, but the thing will be same. The concept will be same. Only the UI will be different. So let's go ahead. So more points why it's so important. How what it does, continuous integration with Jenkins. What Jenkins doing? So whenever I will say continuous integration, we will mean that we are talking about Jenkins. We won't mean that we are talking about TeamCity or Bamboo. We'll be focusing on Jenkins, and those things we will see. Additionally, some of the UI pages. That's how it's being seeing or how you can view the things over there, the differentiation, just that's it. So this Jenkins, what it's doing the continuous, how it's being, I told her it's managing the continuous development. So how it's doing, so I told it's continuously pulling. It was integrated, not it was, it is integrating with your Git server, SVN server that I have shown you, Tortoise SVN also, and the version control system. So those kind of with those kind of tools it's integrated. So scheduling jobs for pulling the code and building the code. Pulling the code means, yesterday also I used the same term. Pull means it needs to copy that code. Where it's being copied in the UI? No. You are just this is a Jenkins UI, and you are doing some of the tasks. Let's see. I will show you at the end what Jenkins UI. I might have shown you in the demo also. So we'll see once more. So it will be copying all those code from where to where it's copying. Jenkins you have to install at some location. Might be some Linux server, Unix server, or Windows server, any server. You need to install your Jenkins server. So that location, it has some memory area. So it will download that code or copy that code from your Git server, and it has to store it at their local location, means at that server's local location, and then it will build your code. Build means it will build means it has to create one deliverable package out of your code base. So that part is of continuous integration means Jenkins. Jenkins has to pull that code and then do the build. Why Jenkins is doing? Because we are doing DevOps. We are into cyclic manner. We manually can do it, can deliver it also. But why we are giving it to Jenkins? Because it will hold that phase. We don't have to bother about we have to build and release that build phase, build package we need to give. No, we don't have to do that one. So continuous development phase is integrated with Jenkins like this. Means they are having scheduled job. Scheduled job means we can schedule it at per day at 10 a.m. It has to take the latest code and do a build and then give it to the next phase. So that scheduling we are doing. In other way also we can do whenever there is a code change. We have to take that code and deploy it. That configuration also we can do. And also another way, in a day, if you want multiple deployment, multiple release deployment, that also we can manage. Though that are all are scheduled. Schedule means some timing we are giving or configuring. On top of that, it's being decided, and on same time it will work. So that's a part of scheduling job in the Jenkins. So we have to do that, and we will see that one how it's being done. So then continuous development, another is making it ready for builds and testing. The same thing, continuous development goes on. Making it ready means after that build is over, it should be tested, right? It needs to be managed with the continuous testing phase. So that build will go to the testing phase, so that testing will go on, or automation test will run in that phase. So that will be done once that build creation is done by the scheduled job. After going to continuous testing, what continuous testing is doing, when integrated with the testing tools like Selenium, we can achieve continuous testing. So we are integrating Selenium or something, some tools I said already, like testing, automation testing means one tool that will do testing, another tool that will generate the report. So those tools will be integrated with Jenkins, and we will see what tools are there which can be integrated with Jenkins. Hello.
Training चल रहा है. Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
So okay, so continuous testing, as I said, we have two tools should be there. It might be anything. We will discuss what kind of tools are available in the market for doing testing, multiple coding, multiple programming languages. So on top of that, we will decide what testing tool and what reporting tool we need to put over there and integrate with Jenkins. So that we need to decide as per the programming language or as per the development phase only. So on top of that, tester will write their thing, write their scripts and integrate, and after that we need to integrate it. So then we can do a testing. That's how we are achieving continuous testing through the Jenkins or continuous integration phase. Continuous integration doesn't mean it's only Jenkins, but here we are using Jenkins because we are going to learn Jenkins. It has a lot of tools also. Continuous integration phase has multiple tools we are using, or mostly it's being used Jenkins over the world. So let's go next phase. Triggering the continuous deployment. Triggering continuous deployment means testing over, development phase over. Not over means the first release phase, that is over. All these two things are over. Continuously, they are on the same time. They are also doing development on the same time on second release or second requirement. So that is different. So that is going on. We were talking about release one. First, they have done some first for the first 2 weeks. They have coded something that is completed, and that testing has done. Continuous testing is done. So then what we need to see, we have to deliver it. Either that will be web package where we can see some UI, or it's a kind of service or any product we are delivering. But as per that, we will create a package from the through continuous integration tool. Then we need to deploy it. So continuous integration is going to trigger that phase, deployment phase. It has to give deployment phase that yeah, I have available that release is available with me, and you can go and start the deployment. So that triggering is done through Jenkins or continuous integration tool. So when integrated with continuous deployment tools, then configuration like tools I have mentioned over here, Jenkins, Hudson, Bamboo, can trigger the deployment planned by configuration management or containerization tool. So we can trigger them, or we can say them that okay, you can start. So we need to integrate those tools. We will be seeing how we are integrating configuration management tool like Puppet, Ansible, and we are integrating with Jenkins, so that Jenkins will tell them that okay, you can start doing the deployment. And then they will start it. So there where we are managing the continuous deployment phase, then the monitoring. Once deployment is over, then we need to do the continuous monitoring. Why this continuous term is there? Because we are doing it daily we are doing all the same stuff. So that's why it's a continuous thing where we need to deploy the thing regular basis, then we need to code regular basis. That's why this is continuous, and these continuous activities are being cycled through DevOps. They are giving their output to another process input, and all are being managed by the tools, and this complete process is DevOps process. So then we are going for the continuous monitoring phase. Means once your product is deployed, it's not like once deployed you have seen and then you left. No, you have to monitor it regularly. Manually you can go and monitor, but it's really boring. So continuous integration tool will integrate that monitoring tool with you, means with your project, so that you can go and log into the UI, and anytime you want to see you can see. Or from there in one UI you can visualize all the things, all the logs are there, and you can see each page what log is there going on and what you can see, and you can open that monitoring page and you can see that one. So finally, Jenkins will have written like Jenkins Hudson can be integrated with monitoring tools like Splunk, ELK, Nagios, New Relic. Lot of tools are there. Mostly people are using Nagios. Sensu is there. Sensu I have not mentioned here. So Nagios also there. Mostly Nagios and Sensu is being used. Somewhere it depends. Somewhere might be ELK or Splunk is being used, but it depends upon the client's budget or the product budget. So accordingly, most of the tools are open source. Still, we need to decide whether we can put budget into the resource they know or they don't know. On top of that, they decide also. So continuously monitoring the status and performance of the server. We monitor whether application is running or not, and what are the server, how the server health is, server is properly running or not, memory usage, CPU usage, everything we can monitor from there. Or what server is going hang or going stop regular basis. So like those kind of things. So another process is there that is called log mechanism, and seeing the log. So that's called your log mechanism. Means you have Elasticsearch. There we will be using Kibana, and we will see how Kibana is also getting integrated on that time when we will be discussing all those tools in the continuous monitoring phase. That time we will see that tool. So till now, anything in your mind or any questions? So how it's been managed, why it is so important, or anything, any doubt in mind or any confusion?
No, I just have one question, Piyush. If you have an image saying this tool is used for this process, like how Jenkins is used for continuous integration,
Okay.
Nagios is used for monitoring. So, I mean, like, I'm able to understand, like in monitoring, there are close to 5 to 6 tools that companies use, something more, but these are the most majorly used tools. So, if you can give me an image or
Okay. So
kind of
you want to see an image? Obviously, I have that image in slide also. Let's see what is the. Yep, this is there. This is the image. This what you want, right?
yes. So no, I mean not this exactly. Let's say, see, JIT. What does JIT do? So I mean there should be like another 2 or 3 companies giving the same kind of service. So like Maven is in building, right? So we should in building we would have another tool, right?
Okay. Got it. Got it. So another tools also. So you want to know that also. Means what other tools are also there.
Yeah, just for my information. So testing, you did mention Selenium, and there's one more tool. So if you can give me like a breakdown, like saying Selenium does testing, Puppet does manage configuration management.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So this is the where
Hello?
hello.
Pish, I'm sorry, I lost you. I couldn't hear anything that you said.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so no, I'm just asking you what you want. I have given here like version control system is great. So you need what other application, other tools are there for version control, or how you want to see the diagram.
Yes, something like that.
Okay, so let's see if I have something.
See, I mean, just to give you an understanding, for planning you use Jira and Confluence, right?
Yeah,
For
like this kind.
development building you use, yes, something like this. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So this kind of thing. So any tool is there. So what we have went through
Yeah.
that time. So you can
Yeah.
see Jira is there, Eclipse is there. For this we have seen in the demo phase. For building,
Yeah.
I have shown you Maven. So Gradle is also there. Apache Ant is there also. Other tool for building phase. So if you want, I can share this image with you so that you can know that what other tools are also available. So, but what I am showing that we will be learning in our phase. That's why
Okay.
that is our specific, but in that way it's not like only Maven is there. I told like it's not single tool, but what we are choosing, that is a mostly used or popular in the worldwide term. Means
Mm-hmm.
most companies you can find all those tools and they will be asking you, do you know this tool Jenkins, do you know Puppet, do you know Docker, like that or something like that only, or the mostly used and reliable tools. These are also reliable, but they are anyway easy to configure or more clear to understand. In that way they are deciding, so that's why. But
Okay.
anyway, but you are having in deployment phase, I have shown you Puppet, but you can see here Safe is there, Ansible is also there. We're using that one also.
Okay, I
It's
got
not
this.
like not only Puppet is there, but why we choose Puppet? Because in future we'll be in this course we will be seeing Puppet configuration and somehow little much about Ansible, because these both are getting with equal popularity. Since Puppet is a
Mm-hmm.
little more popular than Ansible still, because of its easier configuration and easier understanding. You can see the image and you can yourself decide that who is more easier to understand. I will show you
Okay.
that also.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is the thing you wanted, right?
Yes, yes. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah, this is something I was looking for. Thank you, Piyush.
okay. So let's go. Okay, so as we are seeing here, as per our discussion, Jenkins, this is the continuous integration area where having Jenkins as a tool, we will be seeing in course of time that this Jenkins deployment, how we are doing, how we are installing Jenkins, creating a server, so how we are managing the stuff. In same way, we'll be seeing the build it is doing. What I told you, it has to pull the code from Git. It's a development phase. Build is also development phase, continuous development. So it will pull the code from the Git server, then it will build through the Maven, and it will generate a release package that can be released to either
Mm-hmm.
testing or to the deployment phase. So once code is being pulled and it's being built by Jenkins, that it then it will go for the testing phase. It's doing continuous testing. Multiple tools are there. I have shown Selenium. It's same way Selenium is doing UI testing and it's being written by Java. Since any other way, other language is there to do the testing. Other tool is there. So like I can say now we are using Protractor. Some Protractor tool is there to test Angular based UI. You know about Angular UIs?
No.
Oh, Angular UIs means you know HTML, JavaScript, those stuff.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so some advanced thing is there, like now we're creating UIs on Angular base. So how those Angular things are being tested, that's being tested with Protractor, Chromium, those tools are there. Those also we can integrate in with this continuous testing phase if you are not using Selenium. So it's our phase, we will be seeing somehow Selenium how it's being merged or integrated with our Jenkins or the continuous integration phase. So same time it's being again going towards configuration management or containerization. If you want to go through this Puppet or configuration management area, then it's a separate area. Means this both are continuous deployment area. This
Okay.
deployment either can be done with containerization or can be done with the configuration management, or somehow they are also being integrated, but mostly we are doing with a clear idea that if we are going for continuous deployment, either we need to go with this approach or with this approach. We'll be seeing what tools are there at that area also when we'll be discussing about continuous deployment phase. So if we're doing any deployment means what we can see here from Git, we have downloaded the code, and then through Maven we have built the code and created a deliverable package. Don't think that this is the only tool. We have multiple tools depending on
Multiple tools. Hmm.
so Git can be used for your .NET any kind. This is generic. So Maven is for Java specific thing. So multiple. So anyway, we are downloading from VCS version control system. We are using some build tool and creating a package. Means that can be tested and deployed. That package then it will be going to the testing phase, and it has to be tested with some tools. Depending upon our language, they have written the tester have written automation tester have written that thing. After testing is okay, that package will be given either to configuration management or to the containerization for deployment. So this is how these three things work. We have not discussed about monitoring thing till now. So configuration management, the name is suggesting here. It has to configure something. Configure something who? It's not configuring Jenkins. It should configure the server because it's here. It's not here. So we are giving that package to this configuration management area, and we are triggering this configuration management that okay, go and deploy this application in multiple server. So Puppet has that capacity that it can deploy same application and multiple server at same time. So that's the big factor of Puppet. And Ansible also doing same thing. You are doing through Ansible playbook also. So that's a different way of deploying your application, and you can use it as an end user. Whether it's a service or UI page, you are getting what service means.
Yeah.
Web services, like you know about web services, REST web services and SOAP services. You know about those things.
Yes.
Okay, so service means we are providing direct one URL which another application will call and use that one. So that is different. So either we will be delivering a product or a UI package or services, anything. So like the product also can be UI also. So it's not like product is always going and running the standalone or something like backend system. So it depends. So whatever is the deliverable, we'll do that deliver thing through the management. Mostly the multi-server deployment, or mostly we are doing the UI related deployment or the services that is accessible to multiple applications, or we need to deploy in multi nodes, multi servers. We can do with this one configuration management through Puppet. Ansible is also there, Safe is also there, or might be daily, regular basis, regular interval. Multiple tools are coming to market, but the concept will be same. The master will be there, which will trigger everything, and deployment will be done in all the machines, n number of machines. That's really amazing part of this configuration management tool. You can deploy same thing on n number of machine at same time. So we'll know how they are doing also. So another part is containerization. So if it is so good, so why containerization? There was also some problem. What's the problem? Like in dev environment, they have created their application. Dev means in this Git and Maven area. Before that, developers have done coding in the with Eclipse. So they have created some on some environment like a they have Java this version or .NET this version, ActiveX plugin this version. Every version they have used properly and they have done, and they say that it's working fine on my machine. But whenever you are going and deploying as an operation engineer, you are saying that no, it's saying package missing, this thing is not there. So that platform is missing properly. So what is Docker? This Docker, as it's showing, or Docker means your SIP and all. It's a container. It's a complete platform. The application is going with its platform. Not platform means you can't say that with Java and all it will be installing everything and going. No, it's not like that. It has some configuration files that will be the platform file for itself. When it will be running, the application will run. It will download its own platform, and then it will run over that platform. Got my point? Means it will create its own specific environment. Means that application needs this version of Java 1.7, MySQL 5.0.4, then the Python version 1.2. So everything will be mentioned over there. So all the things will be mentioned, and then it will be executed, and the platform will be created for your application. Then your application will start running. So any confusion here or in the configuration management tool?
No.
Okay. So So let's go here. So anything, anytime you have anything, so if when I'm complete, you can ask immediately if you have any doubt.
Sure.
So if going to the continuous monitoring phase, so here I have showed the Splunk, but we have to add another image, that is Nagios also there, and we will be seeing how those Nagios is being integrated with Jenkins, and how we can see those server reports, whether server is running or not, application is running or not. So that's the continuous monitoring phase. So each of the phase is managed by Jenkins. Manage means this will manage themselves, but this all the things will be triggered, all the things are connected with each other and triggered by Jenkins. This is Jenkins tool. I told multiple CI tools are also there. So CI has that capacity to manage all the tools surrounding themselves, and to make a fashion of continuity. So everything is continuous. I will sum up quickly. From Git, from VCS version control system, we are getting the code, we are building the code, creating some package, giving it to the testing phase. Testing is done successful, then giving it to the continuous deployment phase, either through containerization or through configuration management system for deployment and running. Means application will start running at your at the user end or UART or product end, whatever. We have to manage in that way. So after that everything is successful, then we have to put it into the continuous monitoring phase. We need to monitor the server. What happens after monitor? How the continuity goes on to again here. So once you are doing monitoring, you will get some might be some issues or some difficulties with the production server. That will be the next implementation. Again, that will go to the development phase. Again, they will develop something, and in that way, it goes on cyclic fashion. And
Hmm.
this is how it's completely being managed. So you have some clear idea right now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and what this continuous deployment. We have discussed something. Let's see what is continuous deployment little more. So what is this continuous deployment is the phase where action actually happens. So this is a big term. I have already said that continuous integration is a most important thing. Everything is important. Obviously, that's why that is important, because that holds the complete architecture or complete building. It's holding. It's a pillar of the DevOps. But deployment actually happen. Action means you can see your product in the running fashion. Jenkins is not making your product in a running way, or you are not seeing your product UI or product running or services running on Jenkins. Who will make you see that? Continuous deployment means you can see, means after all these phases, this when you will run go through deployment phase, then you can visualize your product or functionality, anything you have. That's where that is where the action happens. Action means anyone, any layman, they, if you tell layman that okay, I have done coding, this is thing, what they will say. If some businessman is there, they don't know technical any term, they will say, I told you I need this UI and I'm not able to see the UI. So they need action. They gave you money, gave you requirement, and they need to see the UI. So that's the action. The action is not happening for them. So that's if this is a point, continuous deployment point. So where the action will happen, where you can see your program running and showing some output as per the requirement. So that's why it's called where the actually happen, where the action actually happens. But the integration phase is the pillar which holds and makes the complete system or in a DevOps way and in a cyclic manner. That's why that is the heart of DevOps, continuous integration. But action happens in deployment. That means we can see or visualize our requirement in terms of product or service. So let's go ahead. What we saw till now, tools, what we have seen till now means tools which will help us build code from scratch. Those tools, Git, Maven are there, which helped in testing. Selenium we saw, means those saw means we have just gone through that. What are the tools? Multiple tools are there to do the testing with Selenium. Test engines for the reporting. Who helped us bridging the gap? CI tool. Bridging the gap means there a gap between the operation people and the development people, or operation environment and development environment. There is some gap. We won't say that operation people and development people there was gap or there is gap, because they might be friends practically, but there is a gap between the operation process and development process. So that process, that bridging was done by continuous integration tool through Jenkins, or your other tools are there, Bamboo and all. So we can use that one. So till now we have seen this up to this one. We have gone through Git, Jenkins, then we have seen Maven is there, Selenium is there for testing. These tools we have seen. So what's next? Obviously, after all this in integration and all, we need to deploy it. So DevOps will be incomplete without the configuration management tools or the containerization tool. I already shown you back that this continuous deployment tool is like configuration management tool and the containerization tool. Same thing is written here. It is incomplete without configuration management or containerization. Why? I told either way you have to choose. Either you need to go through configuration management tool and deploy your application, or you need to choose your uh, platform, Docker platform, not the Docker, the containerization platform where you can deploy. So question is there. So how we are deciding whether we need to go in this way or that way? That's a big question in mind every time. There are multiple tools are available, multiple way of working is available. So which factor we are deciding? How we are deciding? So you left, I'm there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought somebody left. So that's the main question in our mind every time. So how we are deciding these tools, and how why we are using this, not that. So multiple areas there, architects are deciding, or business, not the business guys, architects, the development architects or test architects or your domain specific people which are having holding more than 15 or 20 years of experience. They decide, no, this is a domain, so we need this kind of technology to manage. So it actually depends upon your environment, what kind of environment you are going to use for your production server or for your development, or for means what kind of environment and what kind of competency your guys are having. Means in your team, in the DevOps team, development people are having what kind of knowledge on which languages. So on top of that, they will decide, they will get a project that our development people, they know Java, so we'll get project on Java. We won't take a project with .NET platform definitely. So if we're taking Java, so that programming related tool we have to decide. Maven is that related tool to build a Java project. Same time, Selenium is a tool where tester knowing little much of Java knowledge, they can do a UI testing with Selenium. So that's how those tools are decided. So now we are having another dilemma, like either we need to choose configuration management or the containerization. How we are deciding? So configuration management is like we are having multiple servers, physical servers are present, and we were doing deployment. How earlier phase we are going to each server, configuring all those servers manually and doing the thing. So that time we are deciding that we should go with configuration management. So all the servers are present with us, and we know each server's IP, each server's location, and we are doing that one. But now everyone needs a cloud-based solution. Not everyone. Some other way is like cloud solution. So you don't know where the servers are present, from where you are accessing. You will give your uh, nearby location. If you are at New York, so you might have given the location, Chicago location, so for your application, because it will be nearer to you and you will be downloading your pages and services from the Chicago location. You are not going to give New Delhi location. But here in India, from we have to give New Delhi location, because that location server will give us the data, but we don't know what the server IP and how it's being deployed there. So if we want any services on the cloud platform, we need to deploy on cloud platform. Why we need cloud platform? That's another question. Cloud platform means it will be available to local areas. If you are having multiple servers also, but it will be in one area. If you are having lab room or the data center at Chicago, so what you will be doing? That servers are present only Chicago only. It's not present in Mumbai, or it's not present in Hong Kong, not in Japan. So how those people will access? It will be slowing. Means when using the services, it will be slow down. So cloud-based solution means it can be downloaded or can be used across the globe and across multiple locations. Amazon have given that facility. IBM has also given that facility. So how they are managing it? They're managing through cloud. So that time we went through Docker. No, sorry, through the containerization. Why I'm using the Docker tool continuously? Because Docker is a containerization tool. So that containerization tool will go there, it will hold its complete platform going to the cloud area, and it's running over there. You don't have to bother about where it is running and how it's being run. The complete Docker will itself go and run, because the platform is with Docker, and the application is inside the Docker only. So everything is there, the running platform and the running application. Complete package will go there and it will be running there. So now what I am using, I have used Puppet earlier, but now we are having solution on Amazon Web Services. So that's why we're creating images. Images means that I told the containerization. For containerization, you need to package everything, your platform details and application details. So how it's being packaged, we need to create an ISO image. If you might have seen, earlier days in college or now also when you're installing or taking some CD, bootable CD you are doing, you're taking ISO image and then you are burning it somewhere and using it. So similar way you're creating ISO images, .is only. It's .iso image, and then we're taking, and in some cloud area it will start running. We'll see that phase also how it's been working. So till now you're okay, means you're understanding what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead then. Let's make it more clear. If anything doubt that part, it's more textual. So let's make it little much clear. Continuous deployment. What is continuous deployment? Configuration management tools and containerization tools. Configuration management tools, as we have told, that Puppet is there, Safe, Ansible, SaltStack. So if anything is there, it should be also noted down here, or we can manage it like etc. A lot of tools will be present, but mostly used tool Puppet and Ansible. We will see both of them. Puppet we will see in depth. Ansible also we will see in somehow, and we will know how it's being running and how it's managing the deployment thing. Means first it needs to configure. Why it is called configuration management tool? It is it's configuring the server. I told you, I mean, in containerization we are sending the platform with the package, with the deliverable package. But here you need to configure your server as per your application demand. You have to write that template, that these things I need Java version 1.8, Oracle version this one, that one. So like that everything will be there, and you need to put the location from where it can download license fee. If take that some of the products have license fees, you need to give that fee to download. So that thing also you need to mention over there. And it will first create your server environment, then it will deploy your application. But in containerization tool, you don't have to bother about your server environment. Everything is being inside the Docker. So how it's being managed, that we will see when we'll discuss in depth regarding those containerization tool and configuration management tool. So like same way containerization tool, Docker containers are there. Docker is a part who actually holds the complete package with the platform details. And what is Kubernetes then? Kubernetes is not Docker. Kubernetes is the container management tool. You can say Kubernetes is a port area, and Docker are all the Dockers means SIP. So they are managing port area is managing a lot of SIPs and coming and going. So like that. So Kubernetes is in layman term we can say that Kubernetes is managing the Docker inside it. Docker runs inside Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is the AWS. I told you already. So how it's being managed with the cloud services. So Amazon is providing ECS environment. So where actually Docker is running inside, and it's managing our containerized application. Containerized application means your application will be web package only, but you are making it like you need some different versions for your web package. You are creating and putting it inside an image and giving it to the Amazon area or Amazon Web Services area. They will run it. So till now it's clear, Prithvi, right?
Yes, Piyush, I have one question. The
Yep.
containerization tools. So, I mean, just for my understanding, we will install Kubernetes on Amazon Web Services platform.
No, no, no. It will be there. It's there. Amazon will be holding that environment inside.
Oh, it already has that.
You
So
can't.
all we need.
All you need to use it. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
we are paying Amazon. Means it's a
Hmm.
paid service. Everything it has already inside. We need to means what we have seen earlier from Jenkins. Once that image is built, you need to push that image to the AWS area, Amazon services area, and you need to give Amazon some information regarding how to run it. So Amazon will start running it over there. So you don't have to install anything at Amazon area. But obviously for our learning, we will see how Docker is being installed, how Kubernetes is being installed. So everything, all the environments are present inside AWS. You don't have to install anything. They have
Oh,
managed everything.
okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Well, moving to configuration management tool, so what it is? It is the act of releasing deployments to the server, scheduling updates on all the servers, and most importantly, keeping the configuration consistent across all the servers. So this is a big statement. So let's break it down. So act of releasing deployment to the server. Releasing deployment to the server means we have seen just now. Jenkins has created some build and then it's pushing. So really those deployments, we have multiple servers. I told I have 1,000 servers where I need to do the deployment. Some servers at Canada, some in US, some in India, some in China. So I need to do the deployment into multiple servers. So releasing deployment to multiple servers, that's a part of configuration management or continuous deployment tools, continuous deployment process area. That's where we will do the releasing deployment to multiple servers, scheduling updates on all the server. What is scheduling updates? Update means you need to update your server with some new packages, some security patches are there, and you need to run it. So how you can do it? You can go to each server and do it. Obviously, that is a burden. That's where configuration management tool will help you. You have to start it in one server, and it will run in all the server, and it will manage all the things. And then, importantly, keeping configuration consistent. Obviously you can make consistent configuration. How? Because in one server you have written the file that I need this configuration means these tools I need. So you have written all those tool names and you have kept a one file, and same thing is going to run on all the servers. So obviously your configuration is going to be consistent across the globe, across the server. So that's where configuration management tool helping us. Releasing deployment to multiple server. Releasing deployment means you are installing your deliverable package to multiple servers same time. So scheduling update means scheduling update all the server. You are creating some update. You need some more versions, some new versions, or platform is changed. So you can do that update. Or and the important configuration consistency. Configuration consists all the servers will have same configuration, so it will be managed in a flash. It's not like you are going and doing it manually, and it's like a heavy task for you. For 1,000 server you have taken 1 month time, but it will be done in a day, everything. And you can get the report as well, what is not done, what is the error, what's the success rate. You can get everything in your hand. So let's go ahead. So CM tools, I told we are using short terms. Configuration management is CM. CM tools work based on the master slave architecture. Obviously, how it's being managed. In one node, I'm saying one node you are changing and other nodes are achieving this. So where we are changing, that's the master node. Other nodes who are achieving, those are slave nodes. So everything, any CM tools, it might be Ansible, might be your Puppet. That is configuration management tool. Why I'm saying it's not Dockerization or containerization. It's not containerization. Be specific. It is configuration management. That's where the master slave architecture present. So when there is a deployment made to the master is responsible for replicating those changes across the slaves, no matter the number. So Jenkins is doing the deployment to the master server. It's not doing deployment to the slave servers on n number of server. Only one server you are doing the deployment, and it's going to do the deployment to into n number of server. So it's really amazing. Like you don't have to bother about all those deployment. It will be managed by the configuration management tool like Puppet or Ansible or Safe. They will be doing. That's how the Facebook, Gmail, they are achieving, or Netflix, not Netflix. Netflix is using Amazon. Sorry for mistake. But anywhere they are achieving this thing, or they're not using cloud. They want their own server specific thing. Facebook using Safe to manage. They have done one changes, and it's being replicated across the globe wherever they have servers. So that's why you have big companies who are not using cloud platform, because cloud is being given by Amazon, IBM, but they don't believe them because they are business rivals. They will set up their own server and manage it. That's the pattern. This way they are doing the deployment, and you are seeing that 100% uptime. I said this is how they are managing the 100% uptime. Okay, so you got it till now, what I said, how the configuration management tool is helping us.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead then. This Puppet architecture, I told you Puppet architecture is very simple. So one Puppet master is there, Puppet agent. Puppet master you can think as a one server, agent are all the server. This is three thing I have shown. It can be from one to n, we can say. So configurations are pulled from the master by the nodes. So configuration will be pulled means whatever you want to do the config. I said some software platforms are needed for your application to run. So that configuration is present in the master. We are pulling all those configuration to the agent and we run that. Puppet agent command is there. So Puppet agent is going to pull that configuration, run it, and create the environment. And in the same way, when we are deploying to the Puppet master, everything will be reflected at the Puppet agent. Okay, so it's pretty simple for Puppet architecture. We will be knowing in details how the configuration will be done here, how we are managing like that, and we'll be seeing how it some dummy because we don't have n number of server. Obviously, we'll see some dummy data or dummy result, but you can manage same thing in your servers if you have multiple servers. Okay, so let's go for the Ansible architecture. So this is a little difficult. This architecture you can see some cloud environment is there, some DB is there, Ansible automation engine. This is the automation engine
Uh,
where all
Piyush,
the
I'm sorry. Could you go back to the Puppet?
yep.
Okay, so over here we just have the master server and then it connects to multiple servers, is it?
Yes, multiple server. All the servers they need to connect to this master server. Some configuration will be there. We can make one server as master, which is accessible to us nearby server. So all the
Mm-hmm.
agent server they will replicate whatever is present in the master server. So
All
they will
right.
start replicating. That's why you don't face that downtime. You are facing always uptime. So because whenever you are accessing any URL, something is going on in here. Means Puppet agent one, this server some deployment is going on. You are accessing this server. You are not accessing this server. This is
Yeah.
done. Something is going here, so you are accessing this server that time. So you don't face that issue of downtime. That's how they are managing the 100% uptime. It might be
Okay.
Puppet, Safe, or Ansible. They all ensure that thing that at least it should be near to 100% uptime. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you clear or anything doubt?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Fine. Let's go ahead then. So Ansible architecture. It's bit confusing, bit tricky architecture. There is some
Uh-huh.
Ansible playbook there where we are writing what kind of deployment we are going to do. User has to interact with the playbook and Ansible automation engine. When we are installing Ansible, it has some Ansible automation engine. It will interact some database, then the cloud. Then inside that, whenever you will do an Ansible deployment, it has its host will be host details. Host detail means all the server details. These servers we are seeing here, these are the host details. Those are being recorded here. And when you are doing one deployment, it's going and doing the deployment here. So Ansible architecture, we will see little details. It's a little more confusing than the Puppet. Puppet is very straightforward. Ansible is little tricky and little confusing. We'll see when we'll describe in details. We'll see that time how it's being managed. But in either way, they are doing deployment into n number of server. Their Puppet agent is there who is doing, and here Ansible playbook is there. Here you can write Ansible playbook. Deploy, you need to write the configuration file and you can do the deployment to the host. So if any confusion is there for Ansible, we can clear it in the Ansible session. And so when we will see something regarding Ansible, we will do that time. That time we can clarify this diagram, how it's working properly in each part. We need to describe each part and how it's being running. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Then containerization tool. I have already told you what's containerization tool working on how the packaging is being done. Not how the packaging means they do the packaging of their complete platform, their application software platforms with your application, what you have developed, and so what your team has developed. And then that will be packaging and same dependency, same packaging. So I'll read this one, then we can understand. Containerization tools are other set of tools which help in maintaining consistency across the environment. I told you across the environments wherever you are taking your application. Application itself is going with its own configuration, its own platform. So you don't have to bother about configuring softwares for your application. Application itself is taking the softwares with it, not the softwares with it, the configuration details with it. So wherever it will run, it will download everything and it will start running over there. So you don't have to bother about the environment where you are running. You are running on Windows XP or Windows 98 or some older version of Linux. You don't have to bother about that. That is a part of the containerization, and that's the beauty of containerization. You can run at any platform, but obviously some hardware level where you need to have some good hardware configuration, so that point it will run. Then going ahead, where the application is developed, tested, and deployed, same all the areas, same consistency it maintains, and it works on that. Both of the configuration, both this continuous deployment having configuration management tool, another is the Dockerization, sorry, containerization. So containerization and configuration management, they both are kind of equal. Configuration management, why? You need to replicate same configuration across the machine and you have to do that you need to run. But in case of containerization, you are writing but you are not running. The Docker itself go and it will download itself and run. So you don't have to bother about that. So that environment is with the application and it will be consistent across the environment. It earned across the multiple areas like development area, testing area, deployment area, everywhere that will be managed. It eliminates any chance of error failure in the production environment by packaging and replicating same dependency. So if your container is running at the testing environment, then it will definitely run in the production environment. Uh, I can say, I mean, software term wise, it will definitely run. If there is hardware failure, then that we can't assure. But if hardware is okay, network is okay, then you won't face any failure, zero failure, because it's having its complete platform and running environment with this one, with your package. So you are going for development phase, testing phase, or staging environment. Everywhere it will be symmetric and it will run properly. The main tool we can say is Docker, not main tool. The market is of Docker only. Other tool is there is present, Vargant is there, but that's not as popular as Docker. Docker is the most popular tool we are using in where you are going with containerization. So we'll be seeing Docker also in our course. So what is Docker? How it's being managed? So that is a part of containerization tool. So till now, anything, any doubt?
No.
Okay, thanks. Then go ahead. Any other tool? So Variant, but not competing Docker popularity. So that tool we will just see how it looks like. That's it. But we will be using Docker, and mostly everyone is using Docker. And the cloud solutions for Docker, Amazon ECS, Azure Container Services, Google Container Engine, those all run Docker only. As a containerization tool, they manage Docker, and through that, and Kubernetes also we will see. And what we will see in our course, we will see Kubernetes, how it manages Docker, and AWS. In AWS, how we are managing our images, this Docker thing and containerization thing. So that part also we will see. So let's go ahead. Any other thing? This is a Docker architecture, how it's being managed. When we will read Docker thing, that time it can be mentioned by me, and it will we can discuss on this architecture. Now you can just see this is a Docker container architecture, means this is a Docker daemon. Then it is calling some Docker CLI we are using. You just remember these things, and we will discuss in depth when we will be discussing Docker thing. So container image, I said some image is there and it managed by the Docker container. So like that, Docker container manage the images you have created for your application. So like that it will be going on. So anything else? No. So till now, any doubt?
No, Piyush.
Okay, so I guess it's okay. So we'll start with continuous monitoring. So one more day with little much theory, and then we will start with continuous development phase tools. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So till now, you have any confusion in mind or anything, any question, or how you might have thinking where I am using, how you are deciding. So anything like that in your mind?
No questions right now because I mean you're going step by step, and I'm understanding it. So yeah, the process is pretty much understanding.
Yeah, means what I am trying to say, the picture is clear in your mind, right? Means it's not anywhere jumbling or something. It's clear in your mind what we are doing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm clear.
Okay, then fine.